What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to go into a replay. We're going to talk about the Aggro rocket playstyle, which I believe is the upper echelon of rocket skill cap, and as in this is like the playstyle that you eventually evolve to as a rocket player when you got a lot of time in the game. And I'm bringing it up for two reasons. One, rocket's kind of got like this bad reputation as basically like this straight up heal bot kind of character, which honestly is kind of true. And if you play him like just focused on healing, you're gonna go far. You're gonna go far. There's a guy who got to Grandmaster, like never even using his gun as rocket. But if you watched my last video, which was basically the top 5 situations you want to use rocket's gun, rocket's skill curvature kind of goes something like this. So level 1 rockets, you pick up the character and you're just focused on healing. His healings are super easy to hit, 5-meter radius. Like even if you just pick up rocket and do this all game, you're gonna go far and you're gonna put a lot of value out for your team. So that's what I would call like level 1 rocket players. Like these are the players that are just like only healing, but they're doing dumb shit like putting their BRBs out in the open where they can be easily sniped. Now, the level 2 style of rockets is when you get good at this, which really you can get good at this in one game. Like just all you got to do is practice this. Your heals also ricochet, so you can bounce it off to get some more complicated heals off. That's fine. But the level 2 rockets are going to be the ones that put a lot of work into healing and really focus on his free utility. The BRB, this bad boy right here, provides so much value to a game, but it only has a 50-meter radius to where it'll respawn teammates. So that's about 31 meters. So like 20 meters past that is where teammates will respawn. Now, a lot of players in this tier, like when you get good at this, you're doing smart shit with your BRB. You're actually throwing it like inside of buildings, undercover, and you're also aware that these things generate armor packs and jump packs. But if you put it out in the open or somewhere that's close to a corner, your enemy team can see these, so they can figure out where your BRB is pretty easily because you're putting your BRBs out in the open. So level 2 rockets understand this and they start playing a lot smarter with their placement. Like for example, if you put your BRB like here or like in a room, even though the jump packs and the armor packs are spawning, the team's not gonna be able to feel them. And once you get better, you start moving these BRBs with your team. Like if you're being more aggressive, if you're playing more defensive, you're aware that you have a 50-meter radius and you get really smart at putting your BRBs in smart spots, because if you lose this, you lose a ton of value as rocket. The reason why rocket has such a big win rate, I believe, is just because of the BRB. Because you get 1 free revive every 45 seconds, which means if you're in a 6v6 situation, one of your teammates gets picked, you still have the BRB, you get your 6th teammate back, and you basically can come back from a fight that should have been lost. Because 6v5 fights are usually always favored in the team who has 6 versus 5. But if you have a BRB in a smart place, especially on defense maps like this, shit will save your teammate too much. And this is kind of like the level 2 rocket. Now, going on from a level 2 rocket to level 3 rocket, notice we haven't even talked about using our gun yet. And honestly, level 3 isn't even going to be using the gun yet. Level 3 is mastering mobility. And I'm not talking about just his dashing. Any average potato can master his dashing. I'm talking about getting good at doing this kind of stuff, guys. Like wall crawling, running around walls. Like he has so much speed when he runs through walls. And he's also got this really sick jump tech with his jump pack that if you go off a ledge, you get double distance that you wouldn't normally get without it. Like, look, that was crazy distance, but doing like this, you're kind of like that. So then level 3 rockets master mobility, so they become really hard to dive. So not only are you healing a lot, you're providing a lot of value with your BRB and reviving teammates, but you're also a master at mobility on the map, and you're super hard to get dived, you're super hard to get locked down, but you're probably still playing more or less in the back line and just kind of spamming out heals. And I think this is where a lot of rockets actually kind of stop with the character. They might use their gun on an occasion. And I did do a video, I'll summarize it, but the level 4 and the highest skill ceiling of rocket is actually learning to like spam out your heals and then also mix in your gun with your gameplay, because rocket's gun does a crazy amount of damage. Anything within 10 meters, you absolutely melt. And then after like 20 meters, you start having some damage fall off. If you want more details on like the gun usage, I'm not going to go too deep into it here. I already did a video on it. Check it out. It's the gun guide / when to use your gun. But basically the SparkNotes version of it is like there's a lot of situations after you start playing rocket more and more when it's actually a really good idea to use your gun. To summarize it, when your teammates don't require any healing, if you're in a 3 support comp or if you got like support ults going off, you don't have to be you can use your gun to put up pressure on the teammates. It does a shitload of damage, like I mentioned. This is a 800 health point hero, and we don't even have to use a full clip to delete him. Granted, you probably won't get that many headshots, but on big guys that are up close, especially if they're not focusing you, you can just melt these guys so quick. So you can shred big boys, you can delete utility, you can put a lot of pressure on enemy teammates, Doctor Strange's shields, Magneto bubbles, And then when you start actually mastering his gun and using his gun more, and you can also use it to secure kills on people who are about to die, you start to become more aggressive and start to adopt what I call like the aggro rocket playstyle, which is more of just like shooting out a couple of heals, but then also firing your gun a lot, especially in these situations I mentioned above. I think I left out like 2 situations, but guys, check out the other video. I don't want to run this intro too long, but I want to showcase what the aggro rocket playstyle looks like, because it's very fascinating to me as someone who basically kind of went through the ladder. Like I mastered the heals first, then I mastered the BRBs, I mastered my mobility, and then I kind of got to this point to where it just felt so easy to keep my team healed off that I really want to start using my gun more. And people don't use it because the thing when you use your gun is that you can either shoot your gun to do damage or you can shoot your healing balls to heal. And a lot of times it is better to heal, but there are a lot of situations, especially when you play Rocket, where you actually want to be shooting your gun and not actually healing, and that's what we're going to focus on in today's replay. So let's hop into it. Alright guys, so starting off, we are rocking triple support. On my team, we've got Luna Snow, Loki, Doctor Strange, a Winter Soldier, and Star-Lord. So we do got some synergy with the Winter Soldier by enabling his damage a bit. But already I'm knowing right now, because I do have 3 supports, and granted, I want to emphasize that you don't have to be on a 3 support team to use Rocket's gun. But if you are on a 3 support team, you definitely get a lot more chances to use your gun because there's not as much healing that you need to be doing. Which is like one of my favorite situations to definitely kind of adopt this play style. So we're already planning on going in through a portal. I'm kind of just leaving my armor packs here for a second in case anybody else wants to pick one up. But then I cancel it. When you cancel your BRB, it goes on a 5-second cooldown, so you can reposition this BRB a lot. But my main focus here is to just put it somewhere safe. I'm getting my bearings right now. I throw my BRB down there, and then I kind of realize it's a bad spot, because if they decide to flank on the other side, they can snipe my BRB, and I did see Iron Fist trying to poke around the side there, so I immediately cancel my BRB, goes on a 5-second cooldown, and now I can place it somewhere safe. And right now, I'm actually just focused on healing because we're holding the high ground, and I don't need to do anything crazy. Loki does a pretty good amount of damage, and I don't really want to peek and get sniped, especially with my BRB up. And actually, let me emphasize this real quick. When you have your BRB out on the map, those are the moments where it's very important for you to not die as Rocket, because if you die, your BRB also dies, and you lose that respawn value. Now, however, when your BRB gets used and someone gets respawned, it goes on a 45-second cooldown. Those are typically the moments I tend to be more aggressive with Rocket, because if I die, I actually come back instantly with my BRB, and I'm not losing like two free deaths. Like if I die with my BRB up on the board, that's just really bad. That's always really bad. So you always want to make sure you're paying attention. Like if your BRB is still on the board, maybe tone down the aggression a little bit, but as you get more ballsy with Rocket, it's kind of cool how his playstyle goes. Like when you're heal botting with Rocket, you tend to play more in the back line, but then when you start getting more aggressive with his gun, you actually start to play really close to your tanks, way more in the front line, because you have your mobility to get away. So really, it's hard to even punish you when you play like that. Let's get back to it. So right now, nothing crazy. They got a Moon Knight. I dash out of the way, and I'm really just kind of focused on keeping my teammates healed here. BRB got a respawn already. We're not really getting anything done. I see the Strange pushes up, so I immediately run up to him with my gun and start melting away his shield, force him to get off the high ground. Moon Knight's poking in again. And we're kind of just playing the slow game right now. I don't think anything really comes of this push. I'm really tempted to kind of jump down and start shooting people, but I also know holding the high ground is just so valuable. I see my Strange getting lit. I decide to go down. I get immediately booped by the Invisible Woman. Try to get back to safety. Trying to keep my Strange alive, but my teammate's getting melted at this point, so I kind of just decide I need to get out of there. So I wall crawl. Oh, how rude of me to leave that replay bar up. And I literally just got out of there. And this is kind of what I'm talking about with this mobility. Like, we didn't do anything crazy. We just wall crawled, and we managed to actually get out of that choke. And now we're kind of just re-rallying back with our team. Got 2 seconds till my BRB's back up. I always watch the cooldown on my BRB. Whenever it's getting close to coming back up, I make sure to be like in a position to where I can just drop my BRB real quick. I'm not dropping it yet because there's really no point. Nobody's even pushing in. I throw it here for right now, but I am going to move it somewhere safer because it is a little easy to snipe there. And yeah, actually, I immediately cancel it so I see Loki's totems are up, so I know nobody's going to die. And I want to just put it right there. It's on the high ground. It's under cover. Notice, actually, I'll pause back real quick. Okay. Oh, Moon Knight dropping his ult. Let me bring it back real quick here. Why did I choose this position? Now, if we go to the free cam, oh my God, I've done this replay tool how many times already? Okay, free cam, let's go. So if we go into free cam here, I'm throwing it right here because one, there's 2 walls next to it. So they're not going to get a visual on the armor packs or the jump packs that spawn. And they're probably not going to come around this side while we're pushing the main choke. So the only way they have vision of my revive right here is if they, for some reason, go to this side of the map, which there's absolutely no reason for them to ever go to this side of the map. So this is a very smart spot. And notice that point is 43 meters away, so I'm within the 50-meter range. So as long as anybody dies in this choke or pushing up on that point, even on the right flank here, they're going to get revived from this BRB, so it's going to get insane value. And this is like one of the spots. So you'll see a lot of spots in this video where I like to put my BRBs. All right, so now we're back in the game. Moon Knight drops his ult. I drop my damage boost. And I'm actually switching to kind of damage mode right now. Luna's got her ult going, so I know my team's not going to die. I think Invisible Woman... No, that was their Invisible Woman. I hate that on the replay, you're always red and the enemy team's blue, because when I'm in game, my team is blue and the enemy's red. Always trips me out. Basically, Strange is getting pushed back. I'm throwing out a few heals, but I'm kind of doing this like in and out playstyle to where I'm like throwing a heal or two, and then I'm switching to damage mode. Now they're pushing up. No, they're not. I'm red. Oh my god. Alright, forgive me guys, forgive me. But as we're pushing up, I'm just kind of spamming some heals because I'm not really in range. Notice I like to use my gun when I'm like within like 10-15 meters. We use it there to try to delete the Strange, and we're getting mana advantage now, so now this is one of those situations where I'm really not worried about us losing this fight. I can shoot my gun as much as I want. My teammates are pretty healed up, and we've got mana advantage, so I want to do more aggro. Now I'm putting my BRB here, and this BRB is not meant to stay. I know we're going to cap the point. The only reason I'm throwing it out is just so my teammates can get some armor packs, but I'm going to immediately reposition that BRB because that's not a good spot for it. If you notice, like that armor pack almost shot in the open, so they could tell where it was at. So I cancel my BRB, pushing up, and I kind of periodically stand behind my Strange, and I just try to melt the enemy Strange shield, which is actually really effective. I throw out the ammo for my Winter Soldier, and I throw my BRB down in that corner. Again, it's at an angle to where you could only see it if you're coming from the backside, but anybody from the front side would have a hard time finding it. And they also have an Iron Fist, but I'm not worried about him coming from that low point, because there's no way for him to get there unless he goes around the long way. So basically, we're not doing anything crazy. We're just kind of moving up with the payload. And notice how close I am to the enemy team with Rocket. I take a little damage, I dash out of there, I get another armor pack, I come back to the fight after I heal up. I pop my super jump for my BRB, which I just picked up. I throw out my ult, and now I'm taking a little bit of damage. Iron Fist is on me. I go straight up to the sky. I know you can still get me in the sky, but usually when people dive you, if you just dash straight up in the sky, even if you don't have any terrain next to you, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna be fine. I like to dash up in the sky, and then I'll just drop heals. I see Psylocke here, she's pretty low. I commit to getting the kill on her. I'm sure she was like, what the hell is this Rocket doing? He's actually shooting me. But now my team's getting pretty banged up. I'm spamming out some heal. Luna pops her ult, and then I immediately switch into doing pressure. And you don't even have to like be worried on 100% getting the kills. Like, it's not always gonna be perfect like when you get Psylocke. A lot of times, even if you're just shutting the enemy Strange shield, that's good value, because one clip from your gun does 720 damage, which is basically all of Strange's shield, and it doesn't even take you a long time to do it. So that is it. We're playing it simple, guys. We're doing a heal or two, we're popping out damage. We're doing a heal or two, we're popping out damage, and we're also playing super up front, close to our tanks, because they're not aggro to punish me. We actually clap the cheeks on that Magneto right there. And I'm playing smart. I'm playing right behind my Strange's shield, and we have 2 healers, so we're able to keep up a lot of heals. Do the jump pick into position, throw my BRB again. Notice it's like in the perfect spot. It's hidden. They can't see it unless they come up from behind me, and it's basically guaranteed revive. And right now I'm staying back just a little bit. I think I want to get an armor pack or jump pack when it spawns. Yeah. So we get an armor pack and jump pack. Jump pack is super easy for you to escape a bad situation. I dropped Invisible Woman ult. Don't really know what's going on, so I'm just kind of spamming heals in it. Basically, we're just kind of weaving in and out. We're playing back a little bit, we're playing front a little bit, but this is kind of what the Aggro Rocket playstyle looks like. You kind of just mix up your playstyle. Right now, they're pushing the payload. We dump basically a whole clip into Strange. My teammates are able to get the finish on him. And this will give you so much value, guys. I take some damage there, so I just jump up into the sky, and I'm literally just floating and spamming out my heals. Teammates don't actually need it. But I just got out of a bad spot, and that's another good thing tech to do on Rocket, is just when you're in trouble, just go up in the sky. I hear a portal, I immediately drop ammo and my ult, because I'm expecting some shit to come through that portal, and I don't want them to. I really want to cap this point. Psylocke's ulting in, clearing some space. I'm on the Loki totem now. I know I can switch to my gun, and now there's kind of a lot going on in this team fight. I see Psylocke was lit. I chase her down, and I just finished the kill. We secure that kill right there. Luna's popping her ult. I can use my gun as much as I want, but I think I'm just going to throw my BRB down because we're winning this fight. Alright. So all in all, things are going pretty good. Now, at this third checkpoint, there's not really a super great spot to put my BRB. I know they have Psylocke, so I'm kind of taking a gamble putting it right there. But in my heart, I kind of already knew Psylocke might go that way instead of the other way and snipe it. And she actually indeed does, but we're kind of just rolling down the front line, so it doesn't matter. Coming back, because I know Psylocke hit my BRB. Another weird thing about it is that if you're paying attention to your BRB, it makes that sound when it gets destroyed. And that's kind of a way to tell if like flankers are coming from behind. Like as soon as my BRB was popped, I knew Psylocke was behind me. And these aren't bad players. This is like a Diamond 2 lobby. So I'm kind of just playing back with my team. They get the pick on Psylocke, and we're just really trying to move the payload here. Spamming out some heals, pushing up to the front, trying to help the Strange with the pressure on the other tanks. Throw a couple heals, just for some damage. I hear Magneto's ult. I go straight up to the sky because I know he's gonna have a hard time hitting me if I go up there. He manages to get a triple with that, and then I know the fight's lost. We got to get out of there. Strange is down too. All we have is Loki. Loki teleported. And at this point, I'm like, okay, we can get back and reset. But Loki ends up actually misstepping. I go back to kind of save Loki, and actually I pay the price for it. And I think at this point we trickle and don't actually manage to cap the objective. But that's fine. Those things happen. So our teammates are taking a fight. Kind of come back, and at this point we're actually running out of time. We only have 11 seconds left, so I am literally just gonna try and get as close to the point as I can. I throw my BRB, suboptimal spot, but we only have 10 seconds left, and I'm really just trying to wall crawl and get to the objective. Don't actually manage to get there in time, but we got 2 points, so at this point all we gotta do is play a mad defense game. Alright, so this time we're on defense, guys, and Rocket is super strong on defense. Like that revive and saving people all that travel time, it's just like so good. And actually I put it kind of in the wrong spot. I want it as close as possible, so I really want it hugging this barrel. So I relocated to put it right there, because remember it has 50-meter radius. So this is going to cover the objective, and it's going to cover the main choke, as long as they don't push out too far. And I think I actually pinged for my team, like what 50 meters is. It's basically going to be a little bit before that jet. If they go like past this little spot, the revive won't work for them. And I tell them this, I think they actually end up dying and pushing too deep. But at this point, there's really no reason for me to be that far out there. I'm just gonna wait till I come close to the checkpoint. Like I said in my gun video, if you haven't watched it, Rocket's gun has a bit of a delay when you shoot it. So if you're hitting targets far away, it's really hard to hit your shots. So that's why I primarily like using it at close range, and that's why I'm calling it like the Aggro Rocket playstyle, because notice I'm playing I'm up here with the Winter Soldier and the Strange. I'm playing behind Strange, but I'm just basically playing up front and really trying to weave in as much damage as I can just to melt the enemy tank shields. Throwing in some heals, my teammates are getting weak. I actually go to try to check the Psylocke. That 1v1 that goes nowhere. I actually don't really hit her that many times, but I saw she was coming from the flank, and since we're really rolling with, actually no, we have 2 DPS. Oh no, we have 3 DPS now. Okay, so we actually switched. We don't have 3 healers anymore. Notice I'm still able to make this playstyle work, but I am having to commit a bit more to healing this time around. And I think at this point I realized that we switched from 3 supports back down to 2. So I'm going to check my playstyle and make sure I'm keeping my teammates topped off before I start doing more crazy shit, as I spam my crazy bullets into Magneto. Strange for some reason just solo portal behind us. This stuff still happens in Diamond, which is crazy. So anyways, we go in. I'm literally up in Strange's face because I know he can't do anything to me. I take a little damage. I dash out of there, get to a safe spot, then go back to spamming out heals. Heard something up there, so I'm kind of like watching the high ground. Magneto pushing down on the point here, and I pop my ult, and I'm just going crazy in his face. Invisible Woman ulted, clearing some space. Magneto gets picked. And all in all, we're doing pretty good. Switch back to healing, check around for my teammates if they need any heals. Now we're just pushing up closer to the choke. Now I'm staying back because I have 12 seconds left on my respawn, and I don't want to place it anywhere up here. I want to place it somewhere back closer and safe. Now that my teammates are pushing up a lot more, I'm actually not going to place it in the other spot because I don't want to leave my teammates for too long. So I settle for this little choke here. They could see it if they flanked hard on the right side, but my teammates are really up in an aggressive position, so it's a safe spot in this context because it's well saved. They're not going to run past my whole team to find the BRB. Moon Knight ults, dash out of there. Fortunately, nobody died to the Moon Knight ult, but if they did, we still had that BRB. Now, my teammates are pushing way too deep, so I'm coming up with them to try to keep them alive, because if they die out here, they're not going to get respawned. Winter Soldier does die. I could have maybe canceled it and tried to put it out closer, but it takes 5 seconds, so he would have died anyways. So right now, I'm literally just putting on counter pressure. Like, I'm giving Strange some heals, but I'm also shooting a lot of suppression fire, so they can't just push up on my Strange, because he did get pretty low there for a second. All in all, nothing crazy, guys. We're just weaving it in. Heal, heal, shoot. Heal, heal, shoot. Sometimes it's 3 heals, sometimes it's 4 heals. But really, we're just kind of doing what we do based on the flow of the fight. They're pushing up. We're taking a few steps back. Magneto's ulting and we go to the sky. Make sure we don't get a free hit from him. We're trading. Revive does go off. We get our Winter Soldier back. This woman's ulting again. And Moon Knight, the cheeky bastard, actually gets me with some hoodoo shit. But luckily, we at least got our revive off. But now the enemy team's pushing in. And if he played the kill cam, yeah, he just barely got me when I was trying to dash away. But that was actually enough for them, then they're able to cap the point. That just shows you, sometimes it's only one play that can cause you to like lose a point. Throw my BRB here, same rationalizations as before, and right now, we're focused. Like, I probably won't leave it there if they push up too much. Like, if they push up to where we're at now, I'll most likely reposition. But right now, throwing out my ult, going in a little closer, take some damage, immediately dash away and heal up. And right now, I'm just trying to help put some pressure on the team with my tanks. And notice how far I'm going, because I know if they try to attack me, I can literally just run away or dash away. Strange, and I heard his shield break, so I'm literally committing to shooting Strange right now because I know he doesn't have much shield. Shield breaks again, and we kill the freaking Strange. It's madness, guys. And then we go back to healing. Teammates are doing good. We still have our BRB on the board. And we're just holding. Throwing out periodic heals. I like to switch it left, right, to make sure all my teammates get some healing, especially when they spin out like this. Ideally, you want everybody to be close together, but sometimes ideal things don't happen, like Star-Lord getting killed right there. But luckily, he got revived with the BRB. But right now, they're pushing up, they're using ults, and we're actually losing a bit of our teammates. Putting some damage as I back away. I notice the difference that made there. Magneto is like one hit, so he actually, let me pause that real quick. And I kind of want to explain what I did as I was walking backwards. So right here at this point, our Loki just died. Our Star-Lord got respawned, but we're about to lose a couple more players. Strange is getting really lit. I'm kind of trying to spam him with heals, but he's pretty much so lit right now that he's not going to live. And I think he's at like 60%. So I could have looked up to heal him, but I couldn't anymore because this Magneto's in my face. So immediately I start backstepping, and I am just shooting this Magneto the whole time. And notice how low I get this Magneto. He is literally almost at one hit. And I'm pushing back. He's got his bubble. He's still committing because he really wants when it gets to me, but he's lost too much health at this point that he knows he doesn't want to turn this corner. If he turns this corner, his teammates can't heal him because he's going to be at an off angle. And my teammates are respawning and coming back. Granted, I am getting pretty low now, and I know he was tempted to chase me, but because I was attacking him while he was pushing up to me, he couldn't commit to chasing me down, and he's out of his bubble. He doesn't have his bubble anymore. So right now, it's a gamble. I could get him, he could get me, but he decides to actually back off. And if I wasn't shooting him in that situation, I wouldn't have been able to stay alive and back off. It does suck that our Strange died, but we really didn't have too many choices there. It was either we live or probably die trying to save the Strange. They're ulting right now with Punisher. No reason at all for me to even peek that, because he does so much damage. So I'm just spamming heals down this choke in case my teammates take a little bit of damage while they're peeking. Pulling back, giving him a little bit of space, taking a shitload of damage, dash out of there. The moment you start taking damage, just dash out of there, heal up, and top off. Throw in my BRB right here because I really want to get back to the fight super quick. Throw out my ult, and I immediately go to town. Notice we get a 40% damage boost with our ult, and I take a lot of damage, so I back off. I wanted to shoot more in the ult, but because I got a little bit lit, I had to really back off. Take a lot of damage again, back the heck out of there again. We get Eye of Agamotto'd, and at this point, we're kind of letting them push it way more than we should be. So we're pretty low on people. I really don't want him to get this checkpoint, so I'm actually going to go to the payload and just try and stall it a little bit. I'm very small, so sometimes you can get away with kind of like hiding around it and just kind of like doing little jumps. They managed to pick me off. Star-Lord comes in and dies. So they're going to actually manage to cap this checkpoint, which is unfortunate. It's unfortunate for us. So now we're getting back into the game, and now it's like the pressure's on because we got it a good amount, but we were not able to get it the whole way. So I'm getting there. I'm trying to spam out some heals. We lose Winter Soldier before I put my BRB out, which is fine. Don't feel bad about those because it's better to get your BRB to a safe spot because you can't always save them. Ults are going down. I'm spamming in heals. It's a chaos fight. We lose our tank. I back up. I know he should be getting revived here in a second because of my BRB. But actually, he doesn't get revived. He was actually just out of position from where I put my BRB, so a little bit of a misplay. We could have placed a little bit forward, but like I said, on this third point, attack and defense, there's not really a lot of super good spots to put your revive. Like, that's probably like one of the better spots, but right now that they're pushing this up, it's about to be a really bad spot for my revive when they'll have vision on it. But I'm trying to kind of push up. Magneto ulting. I jump up. Gotta be careful though, because I could like literally eat that. And I almost did actually. And we're really just trying to hold this choke here. I have Agamotto. We throw out our ult. We switch back to damage mode. Get another kill. I see Punisher here, and I actually chase down this Punisher. And this is what I'm talking about with Rocket's gun. You can literally kill people, especially if they're out of position or low. You can go and get those picks and be a little aggressive with Rocket. And this is what a lot of Rockets don't do. They focus on healing, but you can do that. You can do that. Granted, it takes some game sense and a lot of time on Rocket, but when you play enough Rocket, you start doing crazy shit. Right now, we're in the final 10 seconds. I hear ults going off. I don't worry about the perfect BRB spot because I just want to throw it out because I know this is the final fight. And I know we're holding this angle, so unless they flank, which I don't think is a high probability because they don't have any flankers, we should be good with the BRB there. Winter Soldier popping off. We're getting some agains. And now we're just switching back to our gun mode, throwing out a heal here and there, and just trying to clean up the rest of this team. Which we do. Overtime clock's ticking, and that's GG, guys.
Final score, 2-2-3.
So basically, that is what the Aggro Rocket playstyle looks like. Granted, stats don't matter when it comes to games, but I'll show you guys because I know you're probably curious. How did we end up doing that game? Show me the stats. All right, yeah, there we go. So we did 21 and 3. And notice, even playing this playstyle, you don't do a crazy amount of damage, but did that crazy amount of damage even matter when I was basically throwing it all into Doctor Strange's shield? But also, we got 6 final hits. That's 6 extra team kills. That's basically a whole team wipe. Granted, spread out through a whole game, but that's the kind of value you can get with Rocket. And where healing was still good, we actually out-healed our Loki and the Lonely Bagel healed before. We got 24k healing while using our gun. Other team got like 35k. They did way more healing, that's for sure. But that's kind of to be expected. When you switch to this kind of playstyle, you're not doing as much healing, but if your teammates are alive and they're not dying, it doesn't really matter that much because we're able to put on so much extra pressure by switching to our gun. Granted, you could play Healbot Rocket and do completely fine, but I wanted to show you guys an alternative playstyle that I think a lot more Rockets are going to start using lately, especially when people get more comfortable with the character, because it is really fun to play a little aggressive with Rocket. Anyways, have an amazing day. Don't forget to smile if you enjoyed the video. Consider leaving a like, a sub. You already know the drill. Talk to you later. Bye.